Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the whole collective Israel. All right, this lesson, it's in the scriptures, talking about getting thrown in prison or getting betrayed by, brethren, whether that be, your woman, your family members, your friends, whoever. They'll deliver you up into the enemy's hands. All right, and this is all scriptural. Okay, so I'm going to get into that. I'm going to read some of these. It's on Wikipedia, and a lot of you may be like, well, it's not a reliable source. You can look up videos of FEMA camps, man. All right, it's if you think FEMA camps and a lot of these quote unquote conspiracies aren't true, then you're living under a rock, man. Or you're living with your head up your ass. And it's not good to live with your head up your ass, because if your head's up your ass in these times, you're gonna be in a bad case, man, because you're not ready for anything. You got to be ready mentally, spiritually, and not so much physically, because we put our trust and faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but sometimes it's good to have some things just in case. So this is called Rex 84, which is short for Readiness Exercise 1984, was a classified scenario and drill developed by the United States federal government to detain large numbers of United States citizens deemed to be national security threats. In the event that the president declared a state of national emergency, the plan was first revealed in detail in a major daily news. So that's, but all we need to get from that. All right, there's a lot of information on here, but it's basically them rounding up groups of people and putting them into FEMA camps. All right, and specifically those people would be people that they want to brainwash, and put them in re-education camps, or people that are just straight up, like people that are in the truth and go against their agenda and New World Order, and they're just going to put you to death. All right, which ultimately, goes hand in hand with the RFID chip or the NFC chip, basically the microchip, which is the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelations, which is where we're going to mainly focus in this lesson, is the book of Revelations. FEMA camps, and it says conspiracy, but once again, you can look up videos there. It's not hidden. Why would they put up barbed wire fences with a lot of cameras and guards around on Walmarts, man? All right, the FEMA, no matter what they tell you, man, because they'll obviously lie to you. They're not going to tell you, yeah, those are FEMA camps. They're not going to tell you that. The FEMA camps conspiracy theory holds that the United States Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is planning to imprison U.S. citizens in concentration camps. Specifically, people that go against the New World Order, against their agenda. All right? But mainly they're going to be focusing on the Israelites. This is typically described as following the imposition of martial law in the United States after a major disaster or crisis. Now I got a scripture for this before we get into the book of Revelations, and I also got some from the book of Matthew. The scripture popped up in my mind. I think it's 2 and 11. Yep. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not oblivious to what's going on, man. And it says this is typically described as following the imposition of martial law in the United States after a major disaster or crisis, which, by now you should know that a lot of things that happen are false flags. Which false flags, you need to understand this. A false flag doesn't mean nobody died. A false flag just means it was set up to happen. It doesn't mean there was nobody that got killed. That's not the case. 9/11 was an inside job with the false flag, because it was all set up. It was a blood sacrifice, and it was so symbolic with everything. So many things, so much evidence, and that's just one example. And people still don't understand that. That was to justify war in Iraq or Iran, wherever it was in the Middle East, man. Pretty sure it was Iraq. All right, but that's not the point. The reason behind it is not not what matters. The point is it was set up to happen, and it. People died. A lot of people died, but that was still a false flag. False flag doesn't mean nobody died. It just means it was set up. Just like all these school shootings, that's to impose gun control. And then there could, it takes one day, man. That could be tomorrow. That could be next month. That could be a couple of weeks from now. Could be today. That a false flag, a major false flag could hit, and then martial law be imposed. That's how easy it is, man. All right, there's already been a lot of attacks going on. World War III's hit on the brink. Economic collapse. Although mainstream media isn't going to tell you about it. It takes literally, man. It could be tomorrow that a huge false flag happens. It could be any day. Yep. Skip down to here. Well, I'll just read the whole thing. In some versions of the theory, only suspected dissidents will be imprisoned. In more extreme versions, large numbers of U.S. citizens will be imprisoned for the purposes of extermination as a new world order is established. Alright. Well, let's get into more scriptures here. And a lot of people that, will be hiding are going to get ratted out. Matthew chapter 10 talks about it. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Alright, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Or shall be saved. Alright. I can also get Matthew chapter 24. Which goes into it a little bit too. Matthew chapter 24. I'll just start at verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Now this is the part. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. Which these Christian churches, all these religions are already doing that. They're already deceiving the world. Some of these other Israelite camps, telling you that, the mark of the beast isn't the chip, which it is. The mark of the beast is the microchip, man. All right. And the only people that are going to give you the truth is specific people exalted, man, which is the men at GMS. All right. And people who follow them. I'm not in their camps because, there's no camps by me. Not going to give away my location exactly necessarily, but I follow them, all right? And they're the only ones that prophesy and that warn people about what's about to happen. The mark of the beast is a microchip, and do not take it. All right? Take death, the guillotine, whatever they, whether it's a gun to the head, guillotine, or, they just break your neck, whatever, just take death, okay? It'll most likely be a guillotine because I've heard that they've ordered a lot of those to chop people's heads off if they don't agree with it. They're just going to put you straight in that and cut your head off, man. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So people aren't going to give a shit about each other's feelings. They're not going to regard each other, man. They're going to kill each other. They're going to steal. They're going to, just terrorize you, right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So, we're at the beginning of the end of Esau's kingdom. All right? Well, we're really at the end of his kingdom, but it's not even the beginning because his kingdom's been kind of going downhill for a while now. Anyways, what was I going to get? Revelations, okay. So if you do happen to get captured, you may have to face death, all right? But that's all a part of it. All right, Revelations chapter. Some of the elect will be martyrs. Lord willing, we are part of the elect. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast you into prison. That prison is those FEMA camps. That ye may be tried. You shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So what I always, recognize with this precept is that immediately after they say cast you into prison, which like I said is the FEMA camps, it says be faithful unto death. So meaning if you're put in those FEMA camps, most likely you're going to die in there. All right. But you just got to keep faith and trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. Maybe you won't, where all of our stories are already written out. We're just, living through them. We don't know the outcome, but Yahweh does. So trust him. Because he kills and he makes alive, man. And he said that nobody can be taken out of his hands. So if you're not meant to die, then you're not going to. All right. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, which is that microchip. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Alright, so that beheading is talking about those guillotines, man. They'll literally just put you on the guillotine. If you don't know what a guillotine is, I can pull up a picture of it. It's basically like that. The thing that they put your head in it, while you're laying down, they chop your head off. All right. So, we may have to die for this truth, but that's, we're living sacrifices for Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, so I'm going to close with that. Like it said, be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So, we're in the last 100 meters of this race, man. Lord willing, this is the year. Lord willing, this was edifying for the elect. Lord willing, we are the elect. Lord willing, we can endure to the end and stay strong in spirit and have faith. All right, but with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Shalom.